Well, I realize this doesn't look like the model table. But right now, if I look at my clock, it's 14 minutes after 1 in the afternoon. And I've been kind of busy here this morning. You see those bags of beans? Okay, here's what's happened. Way back in November, when I realized that I wasn't going to be wanting to go shopping, I bought a lot of stuff in bulk, and some of it was beans. I like to make bean soup. So I bought a lot of different kinds of beans. You know, there's black beans, pinto beans, I guess you call lima beans, and then there was chickpeas. Anyway, and there's other bags that are in the garbage. Now, I wanted to mix this all up so that every time I scooped out a handful of beans, it was always the same mixture. So in order to do that, I had to, well, mix it all together. And being as that I had so much, it was sort of almost a monumental task, which I have put off until this morning. And finally got at it. Got all the stuff mixed together. I've calculated out how many calories there is per gram. Like I had to figure out how many calories there was in each different type of bean. You know, on the back it'll tell you how many there is per 100 grams, or you know, 36 grams equals 100 calories or something like that. So it all had to be worked out and then mixed together, and I had to weigh the ingredients, and it was very, very time consuming. It just really cut into the model making today. And then there was some other stuff I was doing too. And then I made up a list of you know, the different things that I eat on a regular basis, except for meat. I haven't got meat figured out yet. And I haven't got it exactly figured out yet how much a muffin is. I always make my muffins the same way. And they're always about the same size, but I think the next time I do it, I'll be able to calculate out now exactly how many calories there is. Well, not exactly, but I'll be pretty close in one of my muffins. Now, and then I made up a chart here, and the idea is that I will write down on the chart every day. Every time I take something out of the fridge, like this morning, for instance, for my coffee, I took a certain amount of milk, and I put the cup on the scale and turned it on. It goes to 0. You measure the milk. There's so many grams. I know that there's X number of calories per gram of milk, and you know, you can keep track of it. And my goal is to try and limit myself to 1,000 calories a day. So I actually have everything all calculated out, even though some of the stuff I haven't eaten that's on here, to exactly 1,000 calories. Now I know it's not going to be exactly right, but it's going to be pretty close. And nobody has probably ever noticed this about me. I'm a little bit overweight. Yeah, so I'm kind of working at that. I started about 2 weeks ago, and I thought I better get my beans mixed up here, and each one of those 6 bags, well, there's 6 bags, but there's actually 3 batches. And I had the biggest bowl I had, I could only make 2 bags of beans and mix them up, and that's another reason why it took so long to do it this morning. It was just time consuming. Okay, enough about me and the fact that maybe I'm a little bit overweight. Let's go to the model table and we'll just check out and see how those little tiny pieces are that we did yesterday, and we'll talk about that. Otherwise, I really can't call this episode the model ship, can I? Yes, I sometimes wonder, are we blessed or are we cursed here in Canada with the abundance of food that we have? more than we need, and it is so easy to overindulge. Anyway, we're not the only country with that problem. And as other countries wish they had our problem. Anyway, let's put on the macro lens and zoom in nice and close here and see if we can notice a difference. Well, I know we will. The paint now has had almost 24 hours to dry, so it's going to be shrunk wrapped or whatever you want to call it around this little part about as good as it's going to get. Okay, now let's put on the macro lens. Now I was noticing when I was looking at this yesterday that, I don't know if it's this one or the other one, that there's some places where I thought that possibly I shoved the part too far down into the blue tack, and which would mean that the sides maybe didn't get painted all the way down. Let's check the other one. No, it's okay. The back is good. Maybe it was the way they, you know what, I think it was probably the way the paint had sort of flooded on, and it hadn't shrunk itself down, but you can see that it has more or less here. Yeah, I think we're okay. Now there is another thing. I am going to be spraying this very same number 22 on some of the larger parts. So why could I not have sprayed this at the same time, and it would have done a much better job? But I just wanted to sort of play with the paintbrush a little bit. Yeah. Anyway. Now when we paint this, I will definitely be using my little brush here. Not this bigger one that we used yesterday. And I will definitely be using the red, this red, for the red. But as for the green, one of the viewers, it was Daniel actually, he mentioned, why don't you try a little bit of yellow in the green? Now I don't know if he meant yellow and white, or just yellow by itself with the green, and see how it comes out. So I want to experiment with that. Not that it matters. I mean, this little area that we're going to be painting back here is so small that it's not going to be seen anyway. But I just sort of like to get it as, as right as I think it should be. But that's going to have to be tomorrow because we're getting on here this afternoon. Yeah, we'll try. And also maybe half white and half green. It was just too much white. Maybe it should have been like 2 drops of green and 1 drop of white and maybe 1 drop of yellow, and just see what happens. I mean, I got nothing but time. It's not like I need this ship to go grocery shopping or something in the spring. Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.